Hi, this is Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Tuesday, July 8th, 2008. As you know, John McCain's campaign has recently brought on a number of Karl Rove proteges, including enforcer Steve Schmidt, to help relaunch the campaign. They started off Monday with a new economic blueprint and speech from John McCain, including a new promise that he will balance the federal budget in his first term as president. Now, normally in a case like this, there's a lot of debate about whether a candidate's numbers add up when they say they're going to balance the federal budget. McCain took a new tack, and that was not including any numbers of how he was actually going to balance the federal budget. Also getting noticed is how McCain's budget deficit promise is now affecting his foreign policy promises and goals. As you know, McCain has said that we may have troops in Iraq for 50, 100, or even in one case, 1,000,000 years.
Could be 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years.
Although presumably that's some level of hyperbole. Now though, in his new budget blueprint, he's saying he's guaranteeing victory in both Iraq and Afghanistan within his first term.
So what I want to do today is to take a little time to describe what I would hope to have achieved at the end of my first term as President of the United States. By January 2013, America has welcomed home most of the servicemen and women who have sacrificed terribly so that America might be secure in her freedom. The Iraq War has been won.
Now, as I mentioned, the budget blueprint does not contain any dollar amounts of the savings that victory in Iraq and Afghanistan during the first term will bring. However, if you look on a year-by-year basis, this does represent a 96-year savings from McCain's previous estimate of 100 years in Iraq. Now, setting all that number stuff aside, I think we all know that the real issue with McCain bringing in these Rove proteges to run his campaign, the question, are they going to let McCain still be McCain? Is he still going to be the real McCain? Now, I think we saw some signs of the answer to that question in the speech yesterday. You'll remember in early June when McCain gave his famous green screen speech, he was trying to emphasize himself as a plain speaker in contrast to Barack Obama's smooth, polished, and very strong oratorical skills. And part of that was an emphasis on cringey laughs and sort of shit-eating grins to show who the real John McCain is.
And that's not change we can believe in. 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 That's not change we can believe in.
Now, that was the original from back on June 3rd, a little more than a month ago. Now, let's look at some key moments from yesterday's speech where I think we can see it's still the same John McCain.
You know, some economists don't think much of my gas tax holiday, but the American people like it. If you believe you should pay more taxes, I'm the wrong candidate for you. Senator Obama is your man. For a guy whose official seal carried the motto, "Yes, we can," Senator Obama's agenda sure has a whole lot of "No, we can't."
So even back to back, I think you can see that the Rove people are still letting the real John McCain come through. I'm Josh Marshall from TPM Media, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.